Hey, how's it going? Hope everyone's having a great day. Whew, man. Once again, everything started going, and then, yeah, started crashing again. And I don't know what these lines are above and below. Usually it's full screen, so I'm just going with it. Excuse me. Well, we did it! 1,000 subs! Thank you! Man, that is so awesome. All the hard work is finally paying off. Whew, I can't believe it. Oh man, we're blowing out. Sorry about that. Alright, got a little too excited there. I hope it wasn't too hard on your ears. Oh man. Whew. I've been taking this B12 like healthy drink. It's almost like Red Bull, but all electrolytes and healthy stuff, so you have to excuse me if I'm a little hyper. Plus the adrenaline from the 1,000 subs is just bam. What's up, Chip? What's up, Stalking Wolf? All right, glad to see you guys back. I hope that audio wasn't too much on your ears. Oh man, good times, good times. Well, I'm gonna start hand sanding a different knife today. I don't know if you saw the last video, but I worked on this and got it pretty much to a finish that I'm happy with. I still have the handle to do and all that, but yeah, can't really see the hamon. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. But anyway, so this one's done for now. And we're working on this, which is basically, this is what I'm used to hamons looking like because I don't spend a lot of time on it. This is like, you know, maybe 500 off the belt. See the different colors, but I want to take this one up to a shine like that other one. This is actually like a compound grind. Yeah, you can see the compound there. This is hollow, and this is flat. So we're going to start on 100, 120 on that. But, so, some interesting news. Steve Miller contacted me about doing a collab. This is his design. Man, I wanted to do a collab with him for a long time, but since I can't ask people for help, he contacted me, which was awesome. Les, man, you made it. That's awesome. Les is the guy from Australia I always talk about who says he's going to set his alarm and wake up. Welcome, bud. Man, that's awesome. Here for the 1,000 sub celebration. We're all here. Awesome. But anyway, so let's get into this. Since we reached 1,000 subs, I'm going to let it go 2 more weeks or about a week or 2. But I'm telling you now, you got to click the bell and all that because I've got some rules I'm coming up with. And if you don't watch all the time and you miss out, it's going to go to someone else if you get picked. So I've got some ideas because I know a lot of people will just show up just to get the knife and then click away, which, you know, that kind of defeats the whole point of building this community. I understand though, you know, people want stuff and that's fine. You know, I didn't make any rules that you had to sub or anything like that. But, you know, karma has a way of weeding people out. Yeah, Chip, you're actually in the lead. I think you've got like 4 videos you've commented on, so. Oh, man. Anyway. Oh, I don't know if you guys watched the CPM3V video where I did my first CPM3V, but it came out to like a 62 or a 63. I went to temper it, which you have to temper it at 1,000 degrees for 2 hours 3 times. But I forgot that I left, like on my oven, I could set it different steps. And the 3rd step was the 2 hours at 1,000 degrees. But I forgot the 4th step was 1950. So I'm grinding and grinding and grinding away. and it's been over 2 hours. I walk out and my oven's up to like 1350, so I ruined the temper on this, and I have to heat treat it again. But when I heat treat Steve's knife, and I made this. This is a 80 CRV too. I've never tried 80 CRV too, so I wanted to give it a try. So I grinded this up last night. So yeah, excuse me. This should be fun. I need a drink. Man, Les, I wish you could be in. I know Australia has some strict laws. Man, you're the one guy that deserves it. That's why I sent you all those stickers and all that. You know, one thing about Les, you know, he had some trouble and he's the guy I was saying he didn't show up for a few videos and I started getting worried about him and all that. But man, every time I read his comments, always puts me in a good mood. And yeah, a lot of you guys are like that though. You know, Aaron, Chip, it's awesome. You know, you guys are what makes this channel worth it. You know, guys like Steve Miller, he's the guy I like looked up to and started. He's the guy where you guys are talking to me, I talk to him. So when he asked me to do a collab, I was bouncing off the walls. Woo. All right. Yeah, let's see. So, here's a topic I meant to hit last week. I was on one of my Facebook forums or Facebook posts, and this guy said he was in Walmart. You know, I guess he was in the state where you're allowed to carry your knives. And he had his knife on him, and the person from Walmart, the manager, came up and said, you have to leave the store because of you're carrying that knife. And I read a lot of comments where they were saying, this is allowed because it's private property and stuff like that. But I disagree. Now, if Walmart had a sign that says no weapons allowed, that's one thing. And yes, it's private property, but it's not that manager's private property. The manager doesn't own that store. He's just working there. Now, if Walmart says no weapons, you know, that's fine. I live in Virginia, so I could carry a gun on my side if I wanted to. As long as it's open and you can see it, you can carry it. You know, I've gotten to the point where I don't even realize I'm carrying a knife. I walk into banks, walk up to cops, talk to police officers. You know, I don't even think twice about it because you're allowed to. You know, there's a law. Now, if your state says you're not allowed to carry weapons or carry a knife or whatever, or there's a specific size, you have to be to that law. But Walmart doesn't have a sign out there that says no weapons. In fact, if they tell you to take it off, now you're concealing your weapon, and that is illegal. So I don't think that's right. I don't think they have the right. I don't think the manager has the right to tell you to take your knife off or leave the store. Put it that way. Walmart as a whole, if they said this is our policy, that's one thing. But a manager just saying, oh, people are complaining, you have to leave, that's wrong. That, to me, hey, I have every right. The law says I have a right to carry this. Whoops, I hit the mic. You know, the law says I have a right to carry this. Show me the policy where Walmart says I can't carry this knife, you know, and I'll comply. But no, some manager wants to flex his power and, oh, I'm Mr. Authority, so you have to leave. Wrong. But yeah, so, you know, let me know what you guys think. Yeah, to me, like, well, I keep repeating myself, but anyway, yeah, you have to excuse me, I'm a little hyped, but this B12, you know, because the last couple live streams, you probably heard me, if you watched them, complaining about being lazy or not having energy, and that energy led to being, no energy led to being lazy, and being lazy started leading to depression. And, you know, my whole new philosophy is if you work harder, you don't have time to think about stuff like that, and you have time to get out of your head. So, and I didn't want to drink like Red Bulls. I live off Mountain Dew, so that's enough caffeine. And I wanted to start doing healthy things, so Yeah, B12, whew, it works. And there's no, you know, it's not like, you know, taking a stimulant or something. You don't crash. You know, you go up, but it says you can take 2 a day, 2 of these containers of powder. I take like half of one in the morning and then half of one about 2 p.m. and I'm good to go. I don't, whew, drinking one of those whole would be crazy. Yeah, Australia's bad. The one thing about Australia is everyone that's against guns and all that uses Australia as a pivot point. And I was actually looking into Australia's laws, and when you guys banned guns, you only had like 13 killings or something like that. It was some low number, but when the guy did the mass shooting, it made the number go up like 70%, which, you know, politicians use numbers to mess with you. Now, if 13 people have been killed in 10 years and one guy goes out and kills 6 people in one shot, you know, that's like an 80% rise in crime. But if people are killing thousands, you know, say in America, 1,000 people get killed a day or whatever from whatever, and then one guy goes out and shoots 13 people, you know, that's what, 1% or something like that. So politicians use numbers as a game to inflate their agenda. And now everyone's using Japan and Australia as a, you know, a plate, you know, an outlet or whatever. But the thing is, when we start changing laws, where does it stop? You know, okay, so they changed these laws here, and then, okay, well, we changed this law, well, let's change this law, and let's change this, and let's make this harder. I mean, look at England. You can't even carry a friction folder. You can't, you know, England's knife laws have been so crazy, and now, if you're a knife maker in England, you can't even ship your knives to people's houses or something. It's some weird new law where you can't ship because someone under 18 might open the package or something like that. If you check out Wessex Blades, he has a lot of videos on it. See, I don't own guns. I've never owned a gun, but if you want to own a gun, I can support you 100% because that's your right, you know. There's laws and there's things, and people should express their laws. There's a lot of things that don't personally affect me that I'll believe in. But anyway, we'll get that rant over. Oh man. Whew. You guys don't have any energy, try out these B12 things. So, let's get on some hand sanding here. Like I say, I must start at 120 for this. Use my same rubber deal. Let me put all these away so I don't get these all ruined. Ooh. But, yeah. So, there's this thing, I was watching Gary Vee. I'll be honest, I didn't really bring up any topics for this week, but last week I didn't hit many topics, so I'm kind of using last week's topic list to go over it, because I've been working. I actually finished, let's see if we can see it. I finished the cabinet, or the cart, I keep calling it a cabinet, put the shelves in and all that, so it's ready to go. The VFD's all wired, so that disc grinder is ready to go. Can't wait to use that. Got 3 knives made. I've been working on, well, anyway, been working on stuff. Like you saw, I got the bells in that one. I've been working on them. Yeah, see, Les, thing, okay, you take away guns. I don't mean to hit on this point again. You take away guns. Like in Japan, that guy started going, he went in their classroom and killed what, like 13 children with his knife, or stabbed up 13 people. Okay, so then they take away the knives. Well, people know how to make bombs. Bombs are pretty easy to make if you get on the internet. So people just start blowing people up. I mean, the more you constrict people, the worse it gets. And that's just a fact of life. I mean, that's how this world works. I did it again. I put them under. There we go. So, you know, and then where does it stop? And all you're doing is, you know, people can't legally own guns, so they get them illegally, which means the criminals all have them and all that stuff. But, you know, I know I did that because the top of, you say the top of my head is missing, but it's all blurry. Let me see if I could, I'll show you. Oh, where's my, if I pull this down, you can see it's like blurry up here. So I've made it, oh, it's not blurry anymore. But I don't know what these bars are. There's like bars up here and a bar down there, and I don't know what it's from. So I just rolled with it. Anyway, yeah, you know, when you start changing the laws, and in America, like the toughest gun laws are, like Chicago and DC. Believe me, I live 15 minutes outside of DC. There's no guns allowed, but they have the highest crime rates. So that tells you gun laws are definitely not working. Well, it tells me gun laws aren't working. Hey, what's up, Aaron? I just talked to you a half an hour ago. I was wondering where you were. I see Steve Miller and Joseph, Aaron both said, all right, now we can make it to 10K. I'm shooting for 5K next, but I like the way you guys think. I'll take 10K. Oh, yeah. Right on, right on. And I guess I got to get the affiliate links down there, down in the description. If you go to my website, like if you're in the UK or France and Canada, and I'm going to try to get like Australia and other places, you'll see the pictures of my links and what you're clicking on. I got to add my new lens. Man, I love this new lens. If you guys watch my last video, the lighting and the lens, whoo! The lighting helped a lot, but this new lens, man, I can get some awesome looks from it. Which, Chip, I owe you thanks, because you know, buying the shirt and buying the knives and all that, that really helped me invest. You know, I'm not going to go out and buy stuff I don't need. I'm going to invest it back so I can make better products and make better content for you guys. And you were asking, Chip, you were asking about, you know, doing the Ricassos and stuff. There's no real secret to it. I mean, there's no way to teach you that. It's all in how you hold the knife and just practice. You know, if you hang the belt over a little bit, you'll get swooping plunges. If you keep the belt right on the edge of the platen, you'll get the straight Ricasso. I mean, and the rest is just learning and ease into it. One of the first things you learn about grinding knives is you have to take your time and you have to let the belt do the work. Believe me, I'm guilty of always just wanting to push in and get it ground, you know, as fast as possible. But you can't do that. You gotta just let the belt work and take your time. Profile 2 blades today, awesome. Yeah, 1084 is good steel to start with, or good steel to work with. That's what that new blade is called, 80 CRV2. It's basically 1080 with, I think, vanadium in it or something like that. So it's almost like 52-100, but almost like 1080 too. So it's kind of in the middle there. So it should be fun to work with. I can't wait to try heat treating it. Hopefully Wednesday will be a new heat treating video, because I gotta do some heat treating on Monday. I'm gonna try to do that 3V since I got the oven cooking. Yeah, for me, that was the thing too. Patience was the hardest thing to learn, because you want to get it done, but you just gotta let the belts do the work. Because when you push into it, you know, you're grinding too hard, you're wasting belts, and, you know, there's more chance of messing up. You just got to take your time, relax, and you know, it takes time, believe me. It took me 2 years just to get bevels to where I was happy with them. Not even looking good, just to where I was satisfied that I was making progress with my bevels. So it's a lot of hard work. But you just got to stick with it, and you'll get it. I mean, it's been almost 3 years now, and I still got a long way to go. So, yeah, the Gary Vee thing, I went off topic. He was talking about, you know, people doubting you and how it drives, you know, when people doubt you, it helps you to succeed more, and don't listen to what other people think. And me, I've never had that problem because I've always kind of been a loner, so, and kind of like the weird kid, so I'm used to not listening to what other people think. So, but the thing with me is, when other people doubt me, it drives me. But when I doubt, my self-doubt is like a killer. And every once in a while I start to let self-doubt in, and start doubting if I want to do stuff, or start doubting this and that. And man, that's what gets me. Which, I'm not even on the topic of the live stream, which is quitting okay? Which is kind of a clickbait, because I was watching Jeremy, A Simple Little Life, talking about how he got more people hit on it because it was clickbait. But yeah, it's more of, is it okay to quit? Now, there's two kinds of quitting. There's quitting when you're trying and you keep failing, and you fail and fail, and you quit then. I don't think that's okay to quit. But there's moving on quitting too. Where, you know, there's giving up and there's moving on. If you're just, you know, if you found another passion, or you just don't think you want to do what you're doing anymore, and you want to move on, quitting is fine, because you're not quitting, you're moving on. You know, whereas when you give up, man, that's defeating. Yes, ceramic belts. Once you get over 240 or something like that, you can go to aluminum oxide, but you have to use ceramic belts from 36 to 120, you know, 36, 60, 80, whatever. Usually what I do, like before heat treat, I'll go 36, and then I'll go 80, and maybe 120. But usually it's just like a, you know, 36 to an 80, then I'll heat treat, and then after heat treat I'll go 60, 120, 240, and go up. In fact, Jeremy from Simple Little Life just did a great video on belts, and, you know, the new belts and stuff like that, and what belts work for what. Because Martin was asking me to do a video on the different belts and stuff like that, but really, belts are preference. Like, I don't like the Cubitrons or the Blaze 3M belts and all those Norton belts. I don't like them because they're like $8 a piece, $7, $8 a piece. Some are up to like $12 a piece. And to me, they don't last. VSMs last just as long, or like $5 a piece. So to me, if you're paying that much, you should get twice as much out of a belt. Now, Steve Miller says, you know, if you guys have watched his video where he built the grinder with all the water in it, he says those belts are great for water. So that might be a whole different story. You know, if you're using, like after heat treat, if your belt's like stainless steel is notorious for getting hot real quick. And I forgot that when I was doing those little Kiridashis, how fast stainless steel gets hot. So if you can use, and I've actually got like a cool mist, but it's so messy and it just sprays, you know, nasty stuff everywhere, so I don't use it. But yeah, if you can water it down while you're grinding and keep your knife cool, then that's a lot better. But yeah, I bought those 1x72 Cubitrons, and they're garbage. I don't think they even last as long as the VSMs, which are half price. Yeah, simple. It was a good video. See, I've said this before. A lot of knife makers, or a lot of guys that are in niche, they don't like telling, oh, don't go see, you know, they don't like mentioning other people. But I want this to be a community. I want us to be able to help each other. You know, if you guys see a video where it's like, hey man, check this video out because this guy knows. Yeah. But one thing I've learned, don't put a link, because when you put a link, YouTube flags it as spam. So you just got to say, hey, go check out this guy. Because there was a German guy that made a comment and asked me to check out his channel, and he put it on a link, and YouTube flagged it. Luckily, I saw it like in the comments. It's like under review, or I would have completely missed it because he put a link. So you got to be careful of that. But one thing, my drummer was from Germany, and man, I tried to learn German for like 3 years, but I can read German, but I can't speak it or understand when someone else speaks it. But I can read it. Yeah, Steve is awesome. This collab we're doing is pretty awesome too. I'm so happy. His design is, where did I put that? I mean, that's a pretty wicked design. I'm going to try to make it, he always does his where it's straight up. I want to try to curve this. So I might have to use my carbide file guide on that. But man, I've never done a skinner like that. Whew, it's a little beast. And I sent him a design and stuff, so yeah, man. But I saw a post where he's almost finished. I think he actually finished my design, so I've got a lot of catching up to do. Yeah. Open carry in Florida. There's a lot of states. But the weird thing is, like, I live near D.C., so DC's laws are very, very vague. So anytime, if I have to go to like DC or Maryland has like a 3-inch carry law where your knife can't be over 3 inches. So anytime I go to Maryland or DC, I always make sure I'm gonna wear my smallest knife. So, and there's another thing, with a lot of states like that, if they ask you, why are you carrying a knife? You can't say self-defense. Because when you say self-defense, that means you're going to use it as a weapon. You know, it's all up to the cop's discretion how they want to treat it. And, you know, if they don't like you, they can press it and make it worse in those states. But if you were to say, oh, I used it for opening boxes, or you know, this is my tool for cutting rope or cutting when I need a tool. But when you say self-defense, they automatically think, oh, well, he's ready to use this as a weapon against someone. And, you know, it comes off bad. In those states, you know, if you have strict laws, then well, yeah, Virginia's great. Like I said, you carry a gun. In fact, Virginia, you can even get a concealed carry license. So if you own guns and you get a license, you can conceal your gun if you want. Like I said, I've never owned a gun, but if I was to buy a gun, I would make sure to go get all the training possible. See, that's where, you know, I'm for gun rights and all that, but the whole buying them at shows and making guns real easy to get is kind of a gray area for me. Because I'm gonna, you know, when people do bad things with guns, it makes gun owners that are good look bad. You know, just like cops. Bad cops make good cops look bad. And there's always this, oh, we got to protect each other. But I would think to protect each other, you would want to weed out the bad people. You know, do away with bad gun owners to make gun owners look better and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a touchy subject about how easy guns are to get. You know, and for people with, you know, mental states and all that, like that guy that just killed, what, 12 people in California, or, you know, the guy in Pittsburgh, you know, those people make gun owners look bad, and they're going to make it harder for people to own guns. Yeah. I think though, I think in a lot of states, Aaron, if you lose your right, I think after a certain amount of years, you can actually petition to get, like I had a friend, you know, he was in jail. I've told you guys, if you watched before, you know, I've learned from a lot of the mistakes of my friends, and he had a lot of felonies, but it had been, you know, he actually cleaned up his act, and he actually got back his like right to vote and stuff like that, because he cleaned himself up and lived a productive life. So I think you can actually petition to get those rights back, you know, if you go so long and show reason why you can be productive and own stuff like that. See, I think NRA headquarters is in Chantilly, which is only 5-10 minutes away from my house. So if I was ever to own a gun, I would definitely go get trained. And see, that's the one thing. I think if, in order to buy a gun, I think that's what you need. I think, you know, just like when you get your driver's license, you got to take driver's tests and driver's classes and driver's awareness and stuff like that. That's how it should be for guns. If for nothing else, for personal safety. You know, if you don't know how to shoot a gun or never owned a gun, you're going to hurt yourself more likely than, or hurt someone in your family more likely than you are going to hurt someone else. But I know these are all touchy subjects, so whew. Let's see what else. Oh, here's a good topic. Judging a book by its cover. One thing I learned, you know, me, like I got all these piercings and tattoos and all that, and people look at me like, you know, I could be a criminal or this or that, but, you know, I'm the complete opposite. I don't even have parking tickets, so, and I got that from my dad. You know, I've said before, my dad was CIA, but he didn't dress like he was CIA. You know, he dressed like he was a blue-collar worker, you know, dressed like he made, you know, 15 bucks an hour or whatever. He could buy people or whatever. You know, my mom's told me some stories where people tried to rip him off, like they rented some bikes. And the guy's like, oh, you need to fix this bike. Look what you did to this. And then my dad went and made a phone call, and all of a sudden the guy's like, oh, never mind. These bikes are fine, you know. And my mom was like, what did he just do? And then after he died, we found out he was CIA, and we're like, oh, explains a lot of things. But my dad went to church every day. Not every Sunday, every day. He fought in World War II, but, you know, if you look at him, he just dressed like a normal person. In fact, you know, since I was 6 months old, my parents liked to travel in motorhomes. You know, we had these big 30-foot motorhomes. And I always remember the story where my dad drove into the lot, and he's like, how much is that motorhome right there? And the guy's like, if you have to ask, it's too much. And across the street was another motorhome dealer. So my dad went over there, bought a motorhome, came back and drove by. He's like, what do you know? I guess it wasn't too expensive. And, you know, that dude just lost, what, 30, 40,000 in commission. So, you know, stories like that, you got to be careful. People, you don't know what this, like my uncle was that way. When my uncle died, we cleaned out his apartment. I'd found stacks of money, like 2, 3 grand, just in different places in boxes under the mattress. But if you looked at him, he looked like a bum. In fact, a lot of people thought he was a bum. But he could, you know, another guy, he could probably buy you. You know, the term, he buy anything he wanted, or whatever that term is. Yeah, 2001, that's when my dad passed away. And, you know, it was right before, it was January 2001, right before 9/11. And my mom always said it was almost a blessing he died before that, because that would have killed him, you know. So, anyway, if I'm missing you guys' comments, I'm a little frazzled today. I got to get used to this B12. So now, this right here, this is hollow ground because it's a compound, but this is flat ground. So now I'm going to use my flat. This is just a piece of steel, mild steel, with the same rubber on the front. I'm about to sit there. There I go doing things backwards. I'm putting the sandpaper on the back of the block. Oh, man. Oh, man, thank you guys for all this support. I really, man, you don't know how much it means. I've been trying for the 1,000 sub, you know, for like the last year, around a year, something like that. Yeah, never show your wealth. It's funny because people judge you like that. And, you know, it's hard not to judge people. You know, I find myself doing it. You see someone that looks too rich or dressed too well, oh, automatically, oh, they're stuck up. They wouldn't give you the time of day. But you don't know that. They might just be at work, and they might be the greatest person. You know, it's kind of that reverse thing. Because I find myself doing that. Oh, she looks like she's this or that. But hey, she could just be having a bad day, you know? So, like the lady at the post office one day, she's always the nicest person in the world, but one day she was just having an off day, throwing packages around, and it was a Friday, it was like 4 o'clock. And I went in and I was like, man, don't worry, you've only got a couple more hours left. And then she kind of smiled and everything was fine, but you could tell she was just having a bad day. Ooh. I've drank that whole thing of water, I'm talking so much. So, my last topic, being insincere and being like fake, which kind of wraps into this whole other thing. You know, it might work at first. People might buy it. You know, from what I've found, people like to give you the benefit of the doubt most times. But if you're only out for yourself, people see through that real quick. You know, in fact, when I was first starting out, like a year ago, I only had like 300 subs or something like that. And I would go, but I was asking people, check out my channel, do this, you know, I'm doing this, come see me, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. And it turns people off. And when I started making videos where I was helping people, connecting to people, you know, talking to you guys, my numbers just started increasing more and more and more. Because I wasn't doing it. I wasn't trying to be greedy and insincere about what I was doing. I started, you know, reaching out and trying to do what I can to help other people. And it's actually more rewarding anyway, you know. When you're trying to do everything, oh, you know, and it's, you know, it goes back to that obsession part, because I want everything to be perfect and I want everyone to see my content. But in actuality, my content wasn't ready to be seen. It was horrible. But then I started, you know, well, hey, let me see if I can help people this way or do this. And it started working. So, you know, I really appreciate all the support you guys. You know, when I read the comments of, oh, I accomplished this knife, Aaron, you know, you're always saying, oh, I accomplished this knife because I did this, or Les, you know, I did this, and you show, you know, sending me pictures of your knives and like stuff like that. That stuff's awesome. You too, Chip. You know, tell me you've been learning sharpening. And one thing, man, people don't seem to want to do this, but you're like, you know, talking about how you've been sharpening for 2 years and how once you put, you know, your edge on my knife, it was 10 times better or whatever. And I knew my sharpening was kind of subpar. It's something I'm working on, but that feedback is awesome. You know, it tells me what I need to improve on, what I need to work on, because I've got a lot of work to do on my knives and stuff like that. So that's why I want to build this community, you know. The more we can help each other, you know, just because I'm doing this or bevels, like, man, you know, the reason I know bevels so well is because, man, I sat there and practice. But when it comes to finishing, when it comes to sharpening, man, I'm subpar. I'm still learning a lot. So, you know, thanks for that, Chip. That really helped. What time is it? Woo, 3:45. I've been rambling for 45 minutes. So, let's see. There are like Google Hangouts and stuff, but I don't really know how to do that. Thanks, Les. Man, that's so awesome you made it finally. I wouldn't have woken up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to come watch me. But I think that's about it. I can feel my voice going. I've drank all my water. I haven't done any handstanding. I've just been talking your ear off. So, yeah, we made it. 1,000 subs, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I think I'm going to end it here and go work on some other stuff in my shop. Maybe handstand this a little bit, but I'll probably save this for next week. And I got to do it. The affiliate links, my website and all that. My knives are on my website. All the links are in the description. It's the part I hate about it the most. I'm not a good salesman. I'm not a good marketer, but I'm trying. So I hope you guys have a great week. I really appreciate all you guys showing up. If I missed some of your comments, I'm a little frazzled today, so sorry about that. I do go back and read them all. Like, I'll watch and I'll read them, so I'll catch them. And if you're watching the repost, leave comments about, you know, what you want to see or any ideas. Got my new Abe shirt, man. I love it. Empire Dirt. But that's about it. Like I said, have a great week. Thanks for all the support. And as always, take it easy. Ha ha.